Your self-contained breathing apparatus is designed to provide you with years of dependable service. To get the maximum use and safety benefits, you need to learn and follow correct procedures for donning, doffing, operating, inspecting, and changing your SCBA cylinder. In this program, you will learn how to use and maintain this important equipment. The learning objectives are to demonstrate donning SCBA using the over-the-head method, to demonstrate donning using the coat method, to show techniques for donning from a mounted position, to demonstrate procedures for donning the facepiece, to demonstrate SCBA doffing procedures, to list inspection and care procedures for SCBA, to demonstrate how to change cylinders at an emergency scene, and to present SCBA safety precautions and emergency procedures. There are several ways that you can put on or don your SCBA. The first method we'll demonstrate is the over-the-head donning method. Always check out the unit before you put it on. Check the cylinder gauge to make sure that the air cylinder is full. Open the cylinder valve slowly and listen for the alarm as the system starts to pressurize. Then, open the cylinder valve fully. If the alarm does not sound, or if it sounds but does not stop, place the unit out of service by tagging it and notifying an officer. Check the remote regulator gauge. Both the cylinder gauge and remote gauge should register within 100 psi of each other when the cylinder is pressurized to its rated capacity. Gauges not marked in psi should read within 10% of each other. Check the facepiece to ensure it is clean and in good condition. Operate all valves to make sure they function and are left in the correct position. If the unit includes battery systems, check them for charge. Check the pass device. You should be able to activate the alarm manually. Check the harness assembly for good condition and that straps are extended. Next, spread the harness straps out on each side. Make sure that the cylinder valve is pointed away from you. Now grasp the back plate or cylinder with both hands, one at each side. Lift the cylinder and let the regulator and harness hang freely. Raise the cylinder overhead and let your elbows find the loosened shoulder strap loops. Keeping your elbows close to your body, tuck your chin and grasp the shoulder straps as the SCBA begins to slide down your back. Let the straps slide through your hands as the backpack lowers into place. Lean forward and fasten the chest buckle if the unit has a chest strap. Continue to lean forward and partially tighten the shoulder straps by pulling them downward. Fasten and adjust the waist strap until the unit fits snugly. If necessary, loosen the shoulder strap slightly to carry the weight on your hips. One convenient feature of SCBA is that it can be donned like a coat, putting one arm at a time through the shoulder strap loops. As always, follow the safety checkout procedures of your SCBA before you don. Lay the SCBA with the cylinder valve facing you and spread the shoulder straps out to the sides. Position the upper portion of the straps over the top of the back plate. With your dominant hand, grasp the opposite shoulder strap at the top of the harness. Grasp the lower portion of the same strap with your other hand. Lift the unit with both hands and swing it around your dominant shoulder and onto your back. Slide your other hand between the SCBA cylinder and the free shoulder strap. Bend forward slightly and let the cylinder rest on your back. Attach the chest strap if the unit has one. Tighten the shoulder straps. Fasten and adjust the waist strap until the unit fits snugly. Recheck all straps to see that they are correctly adjusted. The SCBA can be stored in a mounted position for easy donning. The mounted bracket may be on the side or rear of the vehicle, in a closed compartment, or in the seat. The seat mount saves valuable time in donning the SCBA. Donning methods vary according to manufacturer and brands, but the following are basic steps for donning a seat-mounted unit. Sit down and place your arms through the shoulder straps. Then fasten your seat belt. Only partially tighten the shoulder straps at this point. When the apparatus comes to a full stop at the emergency scene, lean forward and release the unit from the mounting bracket. Unbuckle your seat belt. The weight of the SCBA makes slips and falls more likely, so use handrails and extra care when exiting from the vehicle. Fasten the chest strap if there is one. Tighten the shoulder straps for a snug fit. Then, fasten and adjust the waist strap to distribute the weight properly. The face pieces for most SCBAs are donned in much the same manner. Face pieces differ mainly in the shape of the facepiece lens, the type of head harness, the number of straps, and the location of the regulator. In this program, we'll demonstrate how to don a facepiece with a mask-mounted regulator. Pull your protective hood back and down so that the face opening is around your neck. Turn up the collar on your turnout coat. Pull the straps in the head harness to the full outward position. Hold the head harness out of the way with one hand. Place your chin in the chin pocket. Fit the face piece to your face and then pull the head straps or webbing over your head. Pull the top of the webbing or straps up your forehead to move any hair that may have fallen between your forehead and the sealing surface of the face piece. Use your hand to check for centering the harness at the rear of the head. Tighten the harness straps by pulling them evenly to the rear. Tighten the lower straps first, then temple straps, and finally the top strap if there is one. Check your facepiece seal. Place your hand over the regulator inlet in the facepiece and inhale. Hold your breath. This allows the facepiece to collapse tightly against your face. Test the exhalation valve. Hold your hand over the regulator inlet and then hold your breath. Exhale. If you feel a rush of air around the facepiece, the exhalation valve is not working properly. You may have to exhale sharply to open the valve. Attach the regulator to the facepiece. Start airflow and activate your pass. Some SCBA have the exhalation valve in the regulator. If so, attach the regulator to the facepiece and then check the exhalation valve. Check the bypass valve for operation. If it is working correctly, you will feel increased airflow. Close the valve to resume normal operation. Finally, check for positive pressure. You can gently break the facepiece seal by simply putting 2 fingers under the edge of the facepiece. You should feel air moving past your fingers. Check your heads-up display. It should correspond to the pressure shown on the remote gauge and cylinder gauge. Pull your protective hood into place. Cover all exposed skin and make sure that your vision is not obscured. Put the helmet on your head and tighten the chin strap as needed. You should only take off or doff your SCBA when you know that you're in a safe atmosphere. Specific procedures for doffing SCBA vary for different brands and models, but most have similar steps. Removing SCBA that has a mask-mounted regulator is a quick, easy process. Close the cylinder valve and relieve pressure from the regulator using the bypass valve. Loosen the straps on your facepiece before you take it off. Unbuckle the waist belt and extend the adjustment as far as possible. If you're using a unit that has a chest strap, unhook the chest buckle. Leaning slightly forward, release the shoulder strap buckles and hold them open while extending the straps. Get a firm grip on the shoulder straps and carefully lower the SCBA to the ground. Store the SCBA as directed by department SOPs. As you remove different parts of your SCBA, you should prepare each of them for inspection, cleaning, sanitizing, and storage. The only way you can know that your SCBA will protect you properly is if you make sure that it's inspected and maintained before and after every use. Here are some key things to look for when you inspect SCBA. The cylinder should be at least 90% full. Check the operation of all gauges. The pressure reading on the remote gauge and the cylinder gauge should be within 100 psi of each other or within a 10% range. The hose connection should be tight and not damaged. Check for leaks. Check the operation of the cylinder valve, regulator, low air pressure alarm, exhalation valve, and bypass valve. After checking the bypass valve, make sure that it's fully closed. Make sure the heads-up display is working. Check the pass device. Be sure that the harness is in good shape and the straps are fully extended. Check the facepiece to be sure it is clean and in good condition. Each facepiece should be cleaned and sanitized after every use. After cleaning, the facepiece should be stored in a protective bag. You'll appreciate a clean unit, and so will the next firefighter. Besides, moving parts that are not clean may not work properly. At intervals recommended by the manufacturer, take the SCBA out of service and thoroughly check all the components. In addition to the manufacturer's recommendations for annual servicing, NFPA 1981 requires the regulator to be flow tested annually. Always empty a cylinder completely before you send it back for servicing and testing. Each cylinder must be labeled with its date of manufacture as well as the date of its last hydrostatic test. The Department of Transportation requires hydrostatic testing of SCBA cylinders to help ensure they maintain their strength during their service life. All metal cylinders, such as steel and aluminum cylinders, and composite cylinders reinforced by carbon fibers, currently must be hydrostatically tested every 5 years. All other types of composite cylinders must be tested every 3 years. Steel and aluminum cylinders can be used indefinitely as long as they pass hydrostatic tests, but composite cylinders have a limited service life of 15 years. After 15 years, composite cylinders must be taken out of service and destroyed. You need to know how to change a cylinder at the scene, so your SCBA can be put back into productive use with little or no downtime. Here's how it's often done with 2 people changing the cylinder. Keep the SCBA on your back. Remove the regulator and facepiece. Close the cylinder valve and bleed pressure from the unit by briefly opening the bypass valve. Place your hands on your knees. The second firefighter disconnects the high-pressure hose, unclasps the U cylinder, and removes it. He or she inserts the charge cylinder and aligns the valve with the high-pressure hose. Checks the high-pressure hose for debris and checks the O-ring to ensure it is in place and in good shape. Then the firefighter connects the high-pressure hose to the cylinder, clamps the cylinder into the backpack, and opens the cylinder valve. If you need to change a cylinder yourself, here are the steps for a one-person change. Remove the regulator and facepiece. Close the cylinder valve. Bleed the unit with the bypass valve. Fully extend the straps and off your SCBA. Disconnect the high-pressure hose. Release the cylinder from the backpack. Insert a charge cylinder and align the valve with the high-pressure hose. Check the high-pressure hose for debris and check the O-ring. Connect the high-pressure hose to the cylinder. Lock the cylinder in place and open the cylinder valve. Check the gauge readings. Don the unit and your facepiece before re-entering the hot zone. There are several safety precautions and rules that you must remember to follow when using SCBA. Firefighting is one of the most strenuous, demanding jobs you can possibly do. Your turnout gear is heavy just by itself. When you add an SCBA, you will be carrying another 35 pounds or 16 kilograms, which means that to do the work, you need to be in great shape. Physical conditioning is as important as your equipment and technical training. Every firefighter must be certified by a physician as being physically fit for SCBA use before using protective breathing apparatus. Your department should have a respiratory protection program that addresses selection, inspection, and maintenance of SCBA. This program must also include annual fit testing to ensure that every member's facepiece fits properly. Wait a while before using a breathing apparatus if you've just finished doing heavy, strenuous work. Use the rehab area to rehydrate and cool down. Realize that your supply of air will vary according to any number of factors and limitations. You should know how much air supply is available in your cylinder and develop an awareness of your personal consumption rate while in work mode. Be aware of the point of no return. And remember that if you run out of air, you can't help anyone. Once in a contaminated area, do not remove your SCBA under any circumstances. Clear visibility does not ensure that the air is safe. When using SCBA, it's important to work in teams of 2 or more. The buddy system increases everybody's chances for a safe and efficient attack. Remember, your protective breathing apparatus is not a perfect tool. Malfunctions, even after inspection and proper care, can occur. If you find yourself in an SCBA emergency situation, don't panic. Follow your department's SOPs for this situation. Alert your officer and other members of your team. Move out of the hazardous atmosphere as quickly as possible with your team. Use any exit available. If necessary, break a window or breach a wall to escape. It's as simple as this. If you want to live, don't breathe smoke. In emergency situations, the rapid intervention crew can quickly transfer air from a rescue cylinder to a depleted firefighter cylinder using the Rapid Intervention Crew Universal Air Connection, or RIC UAC. To do this, the RIC team member connects a UAC female fitting from a rescue cylinder to the male UAC fitting on the SCBA of the depleted cylinder. After approximately 30 to 60 seconds, the air pressure between the rescue cylinder and the recipient cylinder will equalize. Pull the sleeve back on the RIC UAC couplings to disconnect them. Assess the situation and get everyone to fresh air as soon as possible. In this program, you've seen many important aspects of SCBA use and maintenance. You've seen how to don your SCBA using the over-the-head method, the coat method, and from a seat-mounted SCBA position. You've also seen how to don a facepiece, how to doff SCBA, how to inspect and care for this equipment, how to change cylinders at an emergency scene, and basic safety rules for using SCBA and emergency procedures in case of SCBA failure. Your breathing apparatus is designed to safely see you through hundreds of calls in all types of atmospheres. Make the most of this safety equipment by using and maintaining it in the best possible way. Remember, this is not just another piece of gear, it's a lifeline.
Mayday, mayday.